Hey, it's Monday night? Monday night. Tuesday morning. Last couple days, let's see, I think I already told you about the day, Saturday with Dan and Sarah. Yesterday, I went to Asakusa. So it's the first Buddhist temple in Japan, in Tokyo, one of those. Um, and it's the temple itself, and then sort of a gate leading to the temple courtyard as you go backwards, and then a very long avenue along which the abbots live who care for the temple. And at the very end, just on the main street, is the gate to the whole temple grounds. So first of all, it was a Sunday. It was a weekend day. It was absolutely packed. And a little bit raining, and that didn't bother a single person. I mean, packed. So you get there, and the first gate has this immense lantern. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's 220 pounds of lantern, although possibly 220 kilos. Who knows anymore? So first you go under this lantern, which, to give you an idea of how big it is, the whole gate is maybe 3 stories high, and the lantern was, if I were a little bit taller, I could have reached up and touched it. So it was big. And then you walk down this long avenue, which is jam-packed with shops, which have all manner of souvenirs and kitsch and sweets and candies and snacks and so many souvenirs, just so much kitsch. And then you go through the second gate, and you're in like the palace grounds proper. So there's an incense burner, which was massive. I could have taken a bath in it. It was huge. And you're supposed to like rub the smoke on whatever you're praying for that day. Your brain, your heart, your hips, whatever ails you. There are also counters where you can buy a fortune. You put in 100 yen and shake out a stick, which has a number, and you match the number on the stick to a numbered drawer, and in that drawer is your fortune. There's 200 or so not everyone gets the same one. And mine was way more puzzling than anything else. I think I posted photos of it. And what else? Then you keep going and you go up the stairs, and it's very beautiful. It's really nice, lovely temple. It was built by, the legend says, these 2 fishermen pulled a statue of one of the Buddhist gods out of the river, the bay, and so they built this temple. So a replica of the statue is on display. The statue itself is in the back. So then I moved on. It was really nice. On the side, there was actually a tiny monkey with a woman. He was going to give a show, I think, but I left. And then I walked on towards the National Museum. And on the way, I found the Folk Arts, Traditional Crafts, something museum, which was only a room, but nice. Took lots of pictures. Kept going and then got to Ueno Park, where there were many Pokemon players, as expected. It's interesting being in a country that actually has Pokemon. Korea doesn't. So there's some old law about how Google can't map Korea, which explains a lot as regards attempts to use Google for directions, when it basically says, walk through these buildings, just cut right across everything. Except for one tiny town, Sokcho, in the north. Except for Sokcho, there is no Pokemon. There's only Pokemon in Sokcho. And there won't be Pokemon. So, um, oh, so then I went to the National Museum, which is 5 buildings. I admittedly only went into 2 of them because I was pretty museumed out. The first one was Buddhist art of Asia, so China, some Japan, Korea, um, more ancient stuff, which was kind of interesting. There's like a whole room of the same carving from many different places and times, which the commentary was like, oh, this shows how strict they were about what the carving can look like. And let me tell you, without the placards, I thought that somebody like poured stone, whatever. I mean, they were stone, they were carvings, but they were identical, absolutely identical. And then the other room was Japanese stuff, but by then I was pretty museumed out, wasn't particularly enthralled. And then I went to Old Navy, which was really nice. I got 4 T-shirts, 2 pairs of shorts, one from the men's department. I now know my size in men's. And all of it for about $27, $28, 31 something yen. It was good. I was pleased with my haul and glad to now have more than one pair of functional, comfortable shorts. And both of these are not jeans, so I can wear them to work. And I bet the men's pair are going to be super durable, and the pockets are so big. Very happy. Very, very happy. And then Yoko and I went for dinner to an Italian place that kept we ordered so much food, and they kept bringing us little plates. First, there was an appetizer that was like sliced raw fish in a lemon marinade with onions and tomatoes. Then there were rolls with a smoked cream. Then there was beans with tuna. Much fancier than it sounds. Then there was a steak platter that was 2 pieces of steak and a mound of fries and spinach and mashed potatoes. And then there was pasta for each of us. It was just so much food. Oh my God, so much food. Today, sorry, this video is long. I don't know what to tell you. Today I went to Harajuku. I was going to go also to this science museum, but by the time I was like ready to head over there, it would be closed. I would have gotten there like half an hour before it was closing. Not enough time, and it's closed tomorrow. So it's like the Museum of the Future. They have all kinds of technology, and oh well, next time. So Harajuku, I'm trying to think how to describe it. Okay. So imagine what South Street used to be, right? Like super hip and trendy, or like New Hope and Lambertville. Tons and tons of little shops, very hip and trendy, right? Now add Hot Topic to that, conceptually. Mix in some Hot Topic. And Japan, add in Japan, and multiply that by about 100, and that's Harajuku. It was a lot. It was kind of overwhelming. It was really a lot. In my adventures, I went to an owl cafe. Oh my goodness, there were owls. They were not in the same room where we were eating. There was a separate room with the owls, and we got to go say hi to the owls, and they liked being scritched around their faces and on their wings and being petted. And there was a grumpy one in the corner named Wasabi, and he pooed not on they have this, not a litter box, but like they have a spot, and he pooed elsewhere. So the guy brought out the mop. The guy brought out the mop to mop it up so we wouldn't all step in it, and it turns out that Wasabi has it in for the mop. I mean, he fluffed his feathers and was so angry. I've never seen an owl try and fight a mop before, but if an owl could fight a mop, this owl would fight this mop. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 owls, 2 of whom, Wasabi included, we were not, one was new and one was Wasabi, grumpy. So we were asked to not pet those, but the others were very happy to snuggle with humans. And there was one, his name was Bob, and he's like the size of my torso. Oh my god, he was so big. And then there was one whose name I'm forgetting, who was the tiniest, angriest looking ball of fluff I've ever seen. And he liked being squished around his neck, and he squeaked like a squeaky toy. There's a video also of that. He was so cute. And then I went, so Lindsay Cameron, when she heard I'm in Tokyo, she got very excited. She apparently has an entire Excel spreadsheet devoted to all of the different things she wants to do in different parts of Japan and different parts of Tokyo. So I told her to pick one thing that I will go to and take pictures of for her. So I went to the Kawaii Monster Cafe, which is like, do you know those, like, I don't know if Tim Burton did Alice in Wonderland, but you know those Hot Topic Alice in Wonderland things? It was like that, but an entire cafe. It was, wow. And there's a separate Alice in Wonderland cafe, but this was a cafe that involved no actual Alice in Wonderland, just that mentality, that thought. So yeah. And then I rode, there's a subway line called the Yamanote line, and it sort of circles the city, and it's above ground, so it's an upway, not a subway. And so I rode that for maybe a circle and a half to see, you get a decent view of the city from that. That was nice. And that's it. Tomorrow, Yoko and I are going to a different museum, and then I get on a plane. So that's it. This video is going to be over 12 minutes. I'm sorry. And I'm going to head off now. Bye.